Stop supporting our war in Afghanistan. Our boys and girls are crying out for war. To do with the British National Army Simon. One our war, you know that, it's just been there. Bring our folks home.
Hooray for the BNP! Come on!
Me and the ladies on this side, some of you are on that side. Get a message across that the Afghan war has nothing to do with the British people. It's time to bring our boys and girls home, not leave them out there for years longer, dying somebody else's conflict, like Mr. Cameron was. And another thing, there he was on the leaders' debate, saying they do this and they do that. You must know perfectly well that 85% of our laws are now made in Brussels, and the Westminster Parliament does nothing right to do about that. David Cameron's gone back on his implied promise, the same as Gordon Brown went back on his promise to give us a referendum on the EU. And I'm sure that you're unashamed of that, or you damn well should be, because it's a betrayal of all the It's a betrayal of all the generations of Britons who fought and died for the freedom of this country, to give it away to be ruled by elected bureaucrats. And David Cameron's part of that. It's an absolute disgrace. Why don't you David Cameron?
But our pensions before are so expensive.
About his membership of the Bilderberg Group. What are we doing there with a possible leader of the British country, possible leader of our land, who's in bed with some of the most corrupt, greedy banks, oil companies, multinational corporations on this planet, and he won't even tell us when he goes to those meetings what he's talking about. That's our democracy in this country. Why didn't you tell the people what you planned for us? Why didn't you tell us what PFI really means? The wholesale theft of the assets of this country. That's what's going on under the present government, and it's a Tory policy. It really is about time that you move back to being a proper Conservative party, or change your name.
That's right,
You're not there to conserve anything. You're part of the multicultural, big business destruction of this country. You're part of the deliberate plot to hand this country over, bound hand. I'm happy to, but don't expect he'll be. You're
going to intervene to try and have a word.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to throw myself in front of the car, put it that way. But I will at least
the opportunity.
Well, as I was saying there several times, I'd ask him if he will now disassociate himself from UAF. He's still on the website as a sponsor, and they use hammer attacks against our people. They smash our people's windows. They use violence and intimidation at every possible opportunity. And I accept David Cameron doesn't agree with me or the BNP, but I think it's wrong that he should be sponsoring a group which has brought and is keeping violence into British politics. That's the first thing. Secondly, I'd like to talk to him about his bogus point system and about the fraud of actually telling the British public that this will control immigration when it would only even touch 20% of immigration into this country. Yep, indeed so. And thirdly, I'd like to challenge him to actually give us the referendum on Europe, which the British people have never had and to which we are entitled.
What are you up against here? Who's the sitting member?
Margaret Hodge in my constituency in Barking. Minister of Culture.
Is this in that?
No, we're actually just outside it. He's come to the constituency next door.
Who's this?
This is John Cruddas. There's another failed Labour minister.
Yeah.
Another expenses cheat.
When the majority is he defending?
He's defending a pretty big majority. I don't know what it is offhand, but it's a big majority.
Right. But if you hurt him more than the Tory candidate, you could put the Tory candidate in.
We might do it.
You're not concerned about that.
Tweedledum, Tweedledee. What's it to us?
It's in my pocket. Yeah.
Save us Severance from EU rule. Set Britain free.
David Cameron, you've been caught with our democracy in your pocket. Hand it back now. Hand it back now. And Brown, you're as bad as well. You've been caught with our freedom of speech in your handbag, Brown. Hand it over. The people can't take it anymore.
When he comes in, we don't want any violent abuse or anything silly like that. He might deserve it. You know, no good to what he faces. You leave that to their people opposing us.
At last, this is hope. Here's the truth. This is the British National
And don't go in there and pretend you can change anything in Britain when 85% of our laws are made in Brussels, and you know you've got about as much power in Westminster as a parish council. Why don't you tell the truth just for once? We know you're in there to lie today, but just for once, tell the truth.
Tell the truth!
Hit Griffin for number 10!
All right.
Tell the truth! Tell the truth! Tell the truth!
Now, all listen up, please. All you activists, listen up. Thank you very much. Thanks also to the locals, especially the youngsters who come out. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. We got some leaflets in your do, so I'm sure that some of you have got patches to go back to. If so, do that. If not, I've got a ward and a half in the team with me, so we need to get down there. We're going to be doing Valence Ward, and we're going to be doing Village Ward. We've got a lot of work to do still today. Got work to do tomorrow, so if you've got to go home, thanks very much for being here. But if you're still coming on, let's get away, get back to some work. Thank you very much. Wasn't that true? Yes, oh, you're stunning. Right, let's get to work.
Let me take the radio mic. Let me take your radio mic. Yes. Now, tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon.
Get your cars, we'll be on 5 minutes.
Defend Christian values. No more mosques. Vote British National Party.